Okay, so a little experiment, little thing we might end up doing with this old white trash 64 Dodge. It already took the, don't mind all the masking tape and paper in here, already took that off, and I was surprised to see just how remarkably clean that was. And the idea was go ahead and take this really awful, destroyed piece of crap steering wheel and try and restore it instead of doing our leans. And this would be like our practice piece, but I think this one's daggum almost too far gone. It's got big chunks missing all around it, and I mean it's literally just coming apart like that. So may not do much with this, but I thought it was pretty neat because all that's intact. But who knows, might decide to go ahead and fix some of these big old cracks and just reuse this daggum thing. So before we get too far ahead of ourselves, there's a test spray right there, but this is the steering wheel from the old white trash mobile, and all that white is JB Weld, marine weld, or water weld. It is designed for plastics and PVC and fiberglass, so I figured it'd probably be the best choice to fill all these gaps. And I sanded just about everything completely smooth as best as I could, just showing off body workability. And you can see this thing was pretty freaking roached. I went ahead and filled in the entire groove that runs that ring. The reason why I'm showing you this is because before I paint this thing, well, finish painting it, and put it in Erlene, or put it in the white trash mobile, we're going to be doing a similar thing, potentially with Erlene's wheel, and I just want to show you proof of concept. I didn't film any of this, but to show you how extensive a repair can be, there it is. Alrighty, so that's what we got so far with just the first coat. What do you think about her, Dad?
I think it's pretty daggone nice the way that flake is.
Yeah, we got, oh, I'll show the viewers the paint we picked out. Since the car is, well, white and has, well, more or less a brown and gold interior, tan color, I don't know what you'd call it, figured gold looked pretty sweet. So we're just putting on really thin, light coats, and so far it's covering really good. Well, not quite, I would call it the greatest coverage, but just a lot of little coats, and then we'll put clear coat on it, just like the black wheel I did for my red 64 inside the bay. So we'll check back in once that's looking like a steering wheel. All right, the last look at this top side before we give it a final coat. I am very happy with how this is turning out. I got this scarring over here, which I'll go ahead and point out. That is something I did not fill, but Anna told me basically stop trying to make this thing perfect, because, well, chasing perfection is kind of silly sometimes, especially, well, when you're working with that kind of rig, which we've given the Jezebel treatment with zip ties holding the trim on. You don't remember that, Jezebel's grill is literally supported by 2 zip ties on one side. Anyways, back to painting. Okay, well, we're gonna call that a job done, basically. I don't see much reason in boring you guys with me spraying the clear coat, but this thing's got a lot of metallic to it, and I'm real happy with that. And I really dig this gold. So that's gonna be perfect. Now, on to the wheel in Erlene, because that's what you're here for. Alrighty, well, there's the final coat on the white trash mobile steering wheel. A little experiment to see if it's something I could manage, and I'm real happy with that metallic gold we picked out. And you can still see the ugly spots right there, but we'll own them. But now we're gonna go work on Erlene's wheel, which will either be in this or another video, I don't know yet. But anyways, this was just all in a test to see if I could fix it, and I think I did more than that. I made a steering wheel that you ain't scared to touch, and that is very good. Okay, so back on the old white trash mobile, we are going to show you the steering wheel that is now done. Check that out. And yeah, we're going to stay this far away because that's where it looks the best. I didn't spend as much time, you know, focusing on every single little void and crack and everything, but you can't feel any of it. It's real smooth. It's got a beautiful gold finish now. Whether or not we use this thing or not, even got all the horn stuff working, which even though our horn ring is broken off and missing, it does give us a nice clean steering wheel look. Because now we're gonna show you Arlene's. So don't mind Arlene fresh off her daily drive review, and we're working on getting this thing ready for the road again, more stuff. But you can see her steering wheel is in significantly better shape than the one in the old white trash. We're only missing a couple of big chunks, but none of the pieces are like real loose or anything. So this wheel should not be too bad to fix. So we're gonna have Anna pull that, and we're gonna let her do all the work to this, and she's gonna basically take over this video from this viewpoint, because you guys have seen what we can do. Now let's show you the process on someone who hasn't done it before and see how it turns out. So I got faith in Anna. She's going to do a great job, and I already know she picked out a beautiful color for this. It's going to complement the interior, so let's get at it. All righty, well, welcome back, everybody. Anna, you can continue your work. Okay. So we are here now with Anna and Arlene, which I promised, so we're going to hand the camera over to Anna. We're going to, but I'm just here to introduce us and show you a few things about removing steering wheel on your car, which is pretty general stuff. So first thing you're going to need is some kind of pulley puller. We use this style. And you're going to need the bolts to use it. Extra 3/4 socket on the end. You need an impact or a ratchet if you're antiquated like I am. So on Arlene, there's 2 Phillips head screws that hold on that centerpiece, and you got to access it from the back side, which Anna is currently struggling finding. And once those are gone, once that centerpiece is removed, you are left with those 2 screws you can see. They should stay captured, Anna. They never fell out in the white trashes. So now you're revealing all that. So you see this wire here. This is your ground strap for when you push down on this. That actually completes the circuit, makes your horn go honk, and then gives your boyfriend a heart attack.
I apologize.
So you want to disconnect this little wire, and then you take out these 3 Phillips head screws, and now remove this horn ring. And then these have these plastic little washers in here, more or less. They're isolators. They'll come out too. All right, so now you got your horn trim off. That's your actual mechanism there. A neat thing I want to show the viewers that I discovered on white trash is this thing only goes on in one direction. It's got these 2 pins that lock it in, so you can't put it in the wrong way. You'll notice right there are 2 pins that orient with these, and also with the 3 bolt holes. The other thing that is also cool is it says right there, Mopar. And then of course the part numbers and stuff. This thing is just like in white trash. It's in incredibly good shape. 3/4 socket, Anna. Go ahead, use your strength of pulling cylinder heads. Break that loose. I could give you an impact, which is what I would probably use. Make sure you're going the right way. But I want to see how tight it is. You can do it. You can do it. Come on, Anna. You can do it.
I don't think it's gonna go.
Okay, we'll get the impact. It helps when the ratchet's going the right way, Anna. All right, give it a shot. Let's just see if it'll break free on its own. All right, give it her heave, Anna. Ah! I totally did not break that loose for her.
Yeah, it's all me.
Definitely all Anna. So once that nut is free, then all we got to do is break the splines free of there, and that's what this doohickey's for.
So how do we use this?
Well, we're going to show you in just a second. So one little tech tip Dad always taught me is never press against the actual threads itself. So we put the nut on backwards, and how this works is that's going to press up against there. We're going to have a bolt through the top, and that's going to go into that top threaded hole, and there will be one on the bottom, so it'll be pressing on top and bottom. And then as you crank on this, it's going to thread this Acme screw basically through, and the mechanical force of this is actually going to basically pull the wheel off. I don't know a better way to describe it. That's just, it works. It just does, as Joe Dirt says. How does a Positrack work in a Plymouth? It just does.
Look at my...
And a whistling diesel would not approve of that many danglies.
Why?
Because that's what the Brodozer guys do. They have 1 million of those.
Okay, well, when we got this thing, it stank.
Well, yeah, and those Brodozers typically stank too from all that self-loving. Anyways, let's get back to work. She should come right off of there now. Don't be afraid. That nut will keep the steering wheel from flying at you. And with that nut out, Anna, there you go. Look at all that. It's like brand new inside there. I thought white trash looked good. Dang. And now you want to take a good picture. Of course, we took lots of good pictures of how white trash went together. So now we get a good look at your steering wheel, Anna. Which, it says DPCD. Look at how beautiful that thing really is.
If only we weren't about to break into a million pieces.
No, white trash was breaking into a million pieces. This thing, I mean, yeah, it's got some big chunks missing as far as like right there. It's got a little bit of stuff right there. It's missing that little ring, and yeah, we got some separation, but considering how destroyed the steering wheel in the other car was, I think this thing's gonna be gorgeous once we're done with it. Just in case you guys didn't get a really good look at before, she's really not terrible, but it's just terrible enough that we know we can do better. So, Anna, you ready? Now let's go ahead and show these viewers what we used on the old white trash mobile steering wheel. Now, I did extensive research, aka I went to Walmart and I went to the epoxy aisle and I looked at everything they had, and I thought about JB Weld steel stick because it's a putty. And I know it works really good, but I thought about something that needed to be a little more flexible, so I thought about this water weld because, well, used on fiberglass and on boats and stuff. It's got to move around. It's in direct sunlight. It's got UV rays all the time. I mean, technically, they wouldn't sell this if it didn't actually work on boats. And in my mind, a steering wheel is going through a lot of abuse. It's getting direct sunlight constantly, and it's getting sweat off your hands and all sorts of stuff. So, in my mind, this stuff ought to work.
It makes sense.
It makes sense in my mind. I know Bondo would not be a good idea. So I figured something with a little bit of give, and this stuff was on sale. It was pretty cheap. It was on sale for like $6 or $7 a tube. And the steering wheel that is in the white trash mobile is still holding up pretty dang good after, well, a couple of weeks sitting out. And I used roughly 2 tubes of this stuff to repair it, and let me tell you, it was gone. So here, Anna, that's probably all you're gonna need, really.
Yeah, that one was like fall apart and your hand's gone.
Yeah, it was disintegrating. Your wheel still at least has all of its parts. So let's go get to work. Let's make Erlene's steering wheel great again. You'll notice that there are pieces on the steering wheel that are loose. We can actually physically shift them. And what I did on mine to remedy that is you figure out which part where the brakes are most natural, where they line up the best. And we decided that, well, this one, we can move this piece and this piece. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna clean everything really good, degrease it, make sure all the oils from the hands and everything are gone. And then this is my preferred brand of super glue, not sponsored. So we're gonna take this super glue, we'll lay it all around here. We're gonna ram that in home, or we're gonna work it back and forth so we get glue as much inside of here as possible. Of course, we got all these openings, it'll be perfect. And we're gonna get all these chunks glued into position. So when we're left with this gap, that will be the material. And I could see maybe if you wanted to maybe kind of spread the gap so we didn't have big chunks of that material. But the idea is to connect as much of the original wheel back together. Oh, Anna, you ready?
Yep.
I hope so. If I can do it, you can do it.
Oh, inspirational quote of the day.
Oh, that was about the time you're supposed to cut the clip. Here comes the first part. Cleaning, sanding. Anna's most favorite part.
No. Okay, well, now it has been sanded and cleaned. Used acetone for that. We're gonna blow it off with some air and actually start working on it. What Jed is getting ready to do for me now is because...
Flip my hair back, actually.
Yeah. Like, do it like yeah, like that.
Like
there
Fabio?
you go. Yeah, Fabio.
My hair's not long enough for that.
It still looks good, though. We're going to super glue these pieces into place so that they will stay, and so that we have so we know what we need to do, what we need to replace of the steering wheel. So we're going to super glue it in place, and
you see how I'm working both sides of it?
Yeah.
And we want it glued in on that side, or actually glued down. when I was using the compressed air, I was actually shooting chunks out. And all of this is getting sanded anyway, so.
Yeah.
And these will be filled with the epoxy, but we also want as much of the original wheel reattached
As possible.
to the steel ring in here. Did a good job, Anna.
Alrighty, so we've got it all super glued up, as you can see, using Jed's favorite super glue. So the next step is to use the JB Weld water weld putty that we got, and to fill in each and every one of those little cracks.
You know how weird it is to have your girlfriend filming while you're not the one doing the filming or being part of it? You know how awkward this is?
It's not awkward.
It's kind of, oh, it's not.
Oh no, he disappeared.
I'm not here, just go back to working.
Alright, so we're gonna fill in each and every one of these cracks with JB Water Weld, which will be fun.
Well, Anna, you want to explain to the viewers exactly what's going on here?
So I'm taking this water weld and I rolled it into a little thin little piece, and I'm kind of just dabbing it in to the cracks.
Just kind of kneading it in right there.
Mm-hmm.
Making it smooth and flush, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm.
Eliminating how much sanding she will have to do, because she saw how much sanding I left myself with.
And I absolutely hate sanding.
Anna absolutely despises it. So that would be the practice right there. A little bit at a time, don't mix up too much, and keep everything nice and smooth. And preferably we have gloves on if we had gloves in Anna's size.
I'm sorry that my fingers are like way smaller than yours.
Add that to the wish list, to the shopping list. Get Anna's size phone. Alrighty, what a hyperlapse that was, Anna.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that steering wheel. It looks all weird.
It looked like crap.
What happened to your hands?
The whole no glove thing?
Yeah. But can we get, can I at least get acknowledgement for at least tying my girlfriend's hair up for her?
Yes.
And giving her a drink.
You did.
You want to get that thing set up on the rack so that stuff can harden up, and tomorrow one of us can start the fun task of sanding. You ready?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Alrighty, so time for an update on Erlene's steering wheel. It has been a minute, but Anna finally got all of her body work done, all the cracks filled, and let me just show you what we got. She did a fantastic job, I would say, getting all the little cracks filled in and making it pretty dang on smooth. So now we're going to get ready to shoot this with the color that Anna picked out and get this thing looking like a dadgum steering wheel again. No, we're not going to put any primer down. I haven't done that with my other steering wheels that I've tested this stuff on, and currently the one in white trash is holding up pretty dang good, which we'll show you after we paint this. But all right, well, let's just go ahead and get this thing painted, because it's time for Erlene to get her steering wheel back and get that car back on the road.
So Jed said that he painted my steering wheel up until he ran out of paint. But let's go take a look at it. Look at that. That looks nice. I like that. There's some places where I didn't get it so great with the material, but it looks a hell of a lot better. hell of a lot better. I don't know why he thinks he needs more paint. It does look a lot, very, very good. He said I shouldn't touch it, but I really want to touch it. Oh, okay, it's dry. It's dry. I like how, like, shiny it is. I think it'll look really good in Erling. It's slightly different turquoise color than what's in Erling currently, but it should still work pretty well. It should actually look really good against the rest of the turquoise and white. That looks really good.
It really looks good on camera, and I like that color you picked out, that sea mist pearl or whatever it is.
Yeah.
We'll show that in a bit for the viewers, but yeah, that's a really nice color. I think that's gonna.
It's a little lighter, but I kind of like that.
Well, I think it's actually pretty close to what the original color was before, like, the brown dookie color came up and invaded the pretty turquoise color and kind of turned it green.
Yeah.
Got a nice thick coating on there, and everything is just smooth, and yeah. But we're gonna let it sit out here and just kind of cure for the next couple of days, let it get nice and hard before we put it in Erling and see how that works. Alrighty, well, it has been a daggone minute. We are finally back with Erling because it is time to get this old girl motivated and moving. And plus, we've also let that steering wheel sit there and cure for, well, certainly, hopefully long enough. What do you say, Anna?
Yeah, it's probably been a while.
Yeah, I think the last little update was probably filmed 3-4 months ago.
Yeah, probably 4 months ago.
Yeah, so that paint job ought to be really good, and every bit of that epoxy should be plenty hard, right?
Yeah.
All right, so the first step in attaching this, and this is actually what we've been waiting on, is me having a little bit of free time. I'm a horrible boyfriend, sorry, Anna.
It's okay.
But the first step is there's a blind spline you got to line up, and I already got it on the top side here on the steering column. You see that blind spline, the wider one?
Mm-hmm.
There is a corresponding spline inside, splines in there.
Oh, yeah.
And when you slide that on there, and you get it right, there you go.
Is it right?
Well, you shouldn't be able to rotate. Oh, don't pull it off.
I didn't think it was on the way on there.
There you go. So now, technically, when you turn it, no, it's not on there.
Yeah.
There it is. Now, when it's on there, you can feel it actually starting to do stuff. So now we got to attach all of the trim and extra goodies and stuff that we've polished up. So here's two, step by step. Anna, you want to show everybody how this jigsaw puzzle goes together?
Sure. So this is the horn button, I think.
That's the horn little plate.
Button.
We have these special little screws with these little ferrules that go in there. We got 3 of those.
I'm going like that.
Uh-huh. All right, so Anna's going to assemble it. Uh-oh, she got sneeze. Gesundheit, Anna.
Thanks.
All right, so what these do is these are helping keep the contacts from touching, because you want to keep the plastic of that separated from the actual horn ring, so that way when you actually depress this horn ring, you're making the metal backing of that touch the metal of the steering wheel right there, and that is completing the circuit, making your horn go honk. All right, so now those are in there. Now you can put that on there and not drop all those screws. Who would have known it would take 2 people to reassemble this? We are not going to make it on the Dodge assembly plant. If people saw how many times we dropped and fumbled everything, oh my Lord. All right, there we go.
Is it in?
I don't know. I can't tell. I can't feel anything. It's just cold.
I don't think it's it.
I don't think that's it either. Almost to the finish line, Anna.
Yeah, after some fumbling, we got it.
Yeah. This is not a proud moment. I mean, this whole video has taken how long to do, and it's all about making a steering wheel look less like crap. And
to be fair to you, you're trying to teach me how to do it from like all the way over there.
that is fair. And Yeah. But, hey, this is one less piece on our lane we got to worry about. Now it's finally, technically, almost done. Almost. All right, Anna. So, with all that connected, how does it feel?
It feels like a steering wheel.
No, not that part. This part.
Oh, this part?
Yeah.
It's a little stiff. Oh, no. I just put it on the wrong part of it.
Alrighty, so now we got to put your lock nut on there, secure it, and then we can put the centerpiece on there.
My favorite piece.
Alright, I'll hold the steering wheel. Alright, the torque on the steering... That's backwards. The torque on the steering wheel is... Whoa, doggy! We are approaching... Whoa, doggy.
Are we?
Keep going. Whoa! Whoa, doggy! There it is. That some gun ain't going nowhere. And for the last piece, Anna, you ready?
Yep.
Those don't pop out.
I know.
Now I said that on camera. I look like a fool.
So I was having trouble getting the final piece of trim on, and Jed decided to step in to help me. And so he is now finishing up putting the final piece of trim on.
Yeah, I can't find the screw. Got it. Yep, okay, it's tight.
Look at there. It's all done. Thank you, Jed.
Alrighty, so Anna connected the battery. I have scared her because, well, Erlene's horn works. Steering wheel is installed. So, Anna, you no longer have any excuse on not driving Erlene. Or actually until, well, now we have no more excuses on installing the new plugs and wires and, well, the brakes work. We got to put brake cylinders on here eventually, but technically she runs and drives, so now we can just finish up all that stuff. But that's the main premise of this video, is to finally get that steering wheel done and show you guys that for just a little bit of money and a lot of time, you can make any steering wheel look a heck of a lot better. And look at that thing. That is really beautiful. And it beats paying whatever the reproduction cost is at Classic Industries or whoever it's going to cost or whoever you're going to get it from. Yeah, the turquoise may not be the perfect match, but you know what? I think it matches real good with the car, and it's good enough. What says you, Anna?
I like it.
Did? So, with all that, you guys ready to call it a night?
Yeah.
Yep, Erlene, thank you for always, and we'll catch you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.